Good morning, everybody. It's another episode of Intellectually Honest, unedited, uncut. We're going to get right into it. Before we get started, though, y'all know what to do. Go and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Most definitely hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I drop. And without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So, I saw the game last night, and I got some takeaways from it. Lonzo Ball and the Chicago Bulls hosted LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. I got the stats up, so I'm being intellectually honest, so I'm being factual. And without further ado, we're going to open up. So going out the gate, Lonzo Ball, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block, stat sheet stuffing like we know he can, and we know he does. It's not even Christmas yet, and he out here with that stuff in the stat sheet. Look, 46.7% from the field, 33.3% from three-point. And I bet y'all don't know how many free throws Lonzo had in this game. He had 2. He got to the free throw line once, and he hit both of his shots. I really wish Lonzo Ball would go to the free throw line a lot more. I wish he would get there, which he would be more aggressive attacking the paint. But as I've expressed in recent videos, he prefers to get his points sniping. Although last night, he did show a little bit of versatility in terms of like mid-range shots. He did finish and floated with some nice floaters a couple times. So he started to diversify his scoring efforts, and you love to see it. I think that's the next step in him solidifying himself as a top 10, top 5 point guard in this league going forward. And great game by Zoe. Only 1 turnover. He had the highest plus minus on the team in the starting lineup, and he played the most minutes. So good game by Zoe. Moving on, Alex Caruso, quarterback number 2, the Bald Mamba, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, still 54.5% from the field, 3 out of 5 for 3, 60%, and 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Great game by Alex Caruso. As a backup point guard who you don't really look to provide that much of a scoring output like that, you love to see on a night where Zach LaVine is still out, where DJJ is still out, you love to see guys like Caruso step up in big ways like this and carry the load and make up for that absence. So great game by Caruso. He's the gift that keeps giving, and you love to see it. Moving on, Nicola Vucevic. I've been really hard on Vuce this year, but you can't look me in the eye with a straight face and tell me he hasn't deserved it. Vucevic has not been good this year, but he was good last night. 19 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 47.1% from the field, 50% from 3. Great game by Vooch. The only thing about Vooch is he could very well come out next game and have the worst game of the year for him. Like, he's had that kind of season. You just don't know what you're going to get from Nicola Vucevic on a night-to-night basis. It's, I see people saying, oh, he's back, he's getting his rhythm. We don't know that. How many times we done said that this season? That Vooch is getting his rhythm, that Vooch looks good, and then he come out in the next game and he don't look good, and he don't got a rhythm. So I got to wait to see. A lot of people say that the NBA season doesn't really start till Christmas. Well, Christmas is right around the corner. Vucevic is going into the holidays really, really good. And he has a game tonight against the Rockets. So that should be a winnable game. A good game for Vuce to keep this consistency going. And, So, but like I said, I'm not a hater, so I'm going to give him his props while he earned them. Great game by Vooch, exactly what you need from your star center if you want to make a great playoff run. Javonte Green made his triumphant return tonight, and he did, of course, Javonte Green things. He brought the energy. He had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, a steal, stat sheet stuffing in his own way. But the most thing he brought the energy. He had some really electrifying blocks. and it really goes a long way to galvanize the team. Javonte Green is one of those players where you don't necessarily, like I said, he's not like the most skillful scorer. Like, he doesn't have a lot of footwork, doesn't have a lot of ball handling, doesn't have a lot of moves like that. He doesn't have like a super soft touch with the floater around the rim. But what he does have is nonstop energy, nonstop effort on defense and offense. He gets out, he runs the floor with Lonzo, and you love to see it. Great game by Javonte Green. DeMar DeRozan. If you've been tapped in, then you probably know about DeMar DeRozan's performance last night. He was automatic from mid-range in the fourth quarter. Starting out, he was not very automatic. Let's get into these stats. 38 points. Crazy scoring effort from DeMar DeRozan. 4 rebounds, 6 assists. So he still moved the rock early on. A steal. He had 4 block attempts. 45% from the field. Like I said, he started off kind of slow. His efficiency wasn't the best early on, but he made up for it in that fourth quarter. Didn't take any three-point shots. So, you love to see that him kind of getting back and playing within himself and stop bunching all those threes. I don't know. Like I said, he's been shooting them at a better rate, a better percentage this year. So, I don't know. Maybe he was feeling himself from three a little bit, but great scoring night for DeMar DeRozan. He got to the free throw line a bunch of times, 94%, 16 out of 17. Amazing game. Only 3 turnovers. So, and of course the bench. The bench didn't really do much, actually. I'm looking at it now. The bench didn't do much. I thought Kobe White did a little bit. He had a dunk, but this really was the starters that won this game tonight. Great games from Vooch, Caruso, pretty much all the starters, man. They really did their thing, and DeMar DeRozan brought it home in the end. So, first takeaway is, I got about maybe 2 or 3 takeaways, not a whole lot. First takeaway is, welcome back DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, first, we got to understand the psychological element of DeMar DeRozan this season. You're looking at a guy who got traded by a team who promised him, who said that you are our guy, we're not getting rid of you. Then Kawhi Leonard becomes available, and DeMar DeRozan is the first one shipped out. So then he gets to San Antonio, has a few quiet seasons over there, not really making any real noise. I think they made the playoffs like once. Didn't really do a whole lot. So then he gets signed to the Chicago Bulls this offseason. Everybody says the worst free agent signing in the history of the world. So you gotta understand the psyche of DeMar DeRozan right now. He's out to prove everybody wrong. And that's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. On nights like last night, if he has it cooking in the fourth, it's a good thing. He can take over the game, bring you home. Bring it home and win it in spectacular fashion. The downside to that is, I don't know if y'all noticed, when it was time in the fourth quarter when DeMar was getting double teamed and blah blah blah, and he tried to pass it to somebody else, so somebody else got the ball for a shot, they look out of rhythm. They look like they gone so long without shooting because DeMar DeRozan was shooting everything. The shot looks clunky and they look kind of awkward. So that's the bad side. That's the bad side of that. The more DeMar DeRozan takes over, and the more he does his thing, the more out of rhythm his teammates get. And unless you're going to sit here with a straight face and tell me you expect DeMar DeRozan to be able to do this and get the Bulls deep into the playoffs, something has to change. Like I said, it was a great win last night against a struggling Lakers team. Let's keep it real. I mean, it's not like they beat the Bucks or the 76ers or anybody like that. The Jazz, they beat a struggling Lakers team. And it shouldn't have been as close as it was. I feel like DeMar DeRozan pulled it out in the end, but I think that they could have, if they would have played together as a team a little bit more, I think they probably could have really dispatch the Lakers a little quicker than that. On a night where Lonzo Ball was hitting his shot, where Caruso was hitting his shots, I feel like that could have been an easier win than having DeMar DeRozan take 80%, 90% of the shots down the stretch. Like I said, it was a great win, and you will win a lot of regular season games, but let's not forget there is a reason why DeMar DeRozan has never been to the finals. It's a reason why he can never beat LeBron in the playoffs, because while LeBron is getting his teammates involved and making everybody a threat, DeMar DeRozan is trying to do it by himself. And you can't do that if you hope to make deep playoff runs. But that's, like I said, that's my takeaway on that, on DeMar's performance. I like it. I like what I saw. He looked kind of Kobe-esque in a way with some of the shots he hit. I love that last shot he hit over LeBron. I felt like he needed that for his mind, because like I said before, that LeBron James is kind of in DeMar DeRozan's head, because let's face it, LeBron is the biggest obstacle that's been in DeMar DeRozan's way during his best seasons. The best seasons that DeMar DeRozan has had in the league, he's always come toe-to-toe with LeBron, and it's always ended in a way that wasn't good for DeRozan. So, and then the fact that the Raptors win a ring right after DeRozan leaves, it just, I'm not saying that he was the one holding them back, but it's kind of like that's what it felt like in the moment. Like, but if you really dig into it, then that's not entirely true. But that's the taste that I'm sure was left in DeMar DeRozan's mouth. So just understand the psyche of a guy like him. So when you see him out there jacking up shots, he really is playing like he has something to prove. Like he feels like the league is kind of crapped on him the last few years, and so he's playing like that. But if the Bulls really hope to do something nice and make some noise in the playoffs, then they need to come up with a better way to play. So that's takeaway number one. Takeaway number two: the Chicago Bulls, more specifically Lonzo Ball. I think that, because I noticed tonight, Billy Donovan kept pulling Lonzo to the side and saying things to him. I think that, and it's kind of like a direct segue from point number one. I think that they are trying to play a different way, and I think that Lonzo Ball was kind of getting frustrated with DeMar DeRozan a little bit, because it wasn't all good. DeMar DeRozan was taking some bad shots out there, like bad shots with a lot of time on the clock, and I think Lonzo Ball was getting frustrated because, the Bulls had a very good win without DeMar DeRozan. They had a couple good wins without DeMar DeRozan, where everybody touched the ball and everybody ate and everybody was there. I made a video about it. I forgot who they beat, but everybody kind of was able to feel good about their contributions to the game. But when DeMar DeRozan comes back, then now they're back to just kind of watching him play basketball. And that's not, once you had a taste of like feeling like you're really chipping in for the victory, you're not going to want to go back to that. And I think that what Billy Donovan was saying to Lonzo, I think they're trying to segue into more like up-paced, team-oriented ball, but it's gonna be a process, And I think Billy Donovan kind of saw Lonzo getting frustrated, so I don't know what he said, but I could tell by Lonzo's body language. He wasn't overtly like throwing his hands and shaking his head or whatever, but you can tell if you've been watching Lonzo Ball for any meaningful amount of time, what it looks like when he kind of like is like just kind of peeved a little bit. But that's my second segue. I think the Bulls are ultimately trying to segue into like a faster, more pace and space ball movement type of style. But it's, like I said, it's a process. This team is still gelling. They're still learning how to play together, and it's not even Christmas yet. So I don't think this is the final product. And I think that they're gonna move. I think they're ultimately moving toward the type of ball that we envisioned them playing. So, yeah. And like I said, it was a great win for the Bulls. So I guess my last takeaway would be that the East is the Bulls to lose. The East, I don't know if y'all really been tapped in and keeping up with all the things that have been happening in the East, but the East is literally there to be had by the Chicago Bulls, because Kevin Durant has entered health and safety protocol. Kyrie Irving is health and safety protocol. Then I heard he's only coming back part-time. Cleveland Cavaliers are third in the East, but that's fraudulent. The Bucks, all these teams aren't looking as good as people predicted. All these teams that were supposed to be better than Chicago are not looking better than Chicago. The 76ers, it was cute for a while how we look, they see they're better without Ben Simmons. We don't need Ben Simmons, blah, blah. But now they 15 and 15, right down there with my struggling Celtics. So they need something. They're not, to all that talk about them being better without Ben Simmons. Look, I know I made a video kind of like talking about Ben Simmons, but I was more so, the video I made about Ben Simmons months ago about him being a poor man's Lonzo Ball, that was more so aimed at the treatment, the disparity in the treatment that they both had gotten. How Ben Simmons was given all this leeway despite his deficiency, and Lonzo Ball had his deficiencies highlighted and blown up for everybody to see. You know, so that's what that video was mostly about. But look, there's no world, no universe where the 76ers are better. The way they're currently constructed, there's no world where the 76ers are better without Ben Simmons. So, yeah, with all that going on, the Bulls are starting to jump back. They're starting to get back healthy. They'll get Levine back shortly. And I think it's right on time. I think the Nets are going to lose a few games here without KD. And I think it's right there for the Bulls to take that #1 spot and hold it. Like, this is great stuff. So that's my final takeaway. The East is right there for the Bulls to have. So this is another episode of Intellectually Honest. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me every day for Bulls content, Celtics content, and everything in between. Go and hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.